we are about to go off on our world tour, and we needed somewhere that we could leave Indi really, really safe on anchor.
We'll lower link and then we'll just power off in that direction at high speed. Unlike when you go on holiday, we genuinely have to shut everything down. So we're going to turn all the power off on Indi.
Ian's going to go into the engine bay and turn on the watermaker from that side. I'm going to feed a hose from here through the hole, try and find the suitcase that we flew out with 3 years ago.
This is actually genius. I haven't smelt it yet.
I can tuck my hair in. That'll keep me cozy.
Last time on Red Seas, we switched out our old dinghy anchor and tested a new one from Mantis. We beached our dinghy and walked through a haunted park to buy some provisions. I was delighted to try out my new homemade baguette bag, and then we rigged up a gravity fill system for our propane tanks. You might remember we went to the Annapolis boat show a few months ago, but we didn't get to share the episodes from the rest of that trip with you, so we're just going to jump back in time and share these videos as we headed out on our world tour.
We have got so much to do this week. We are about to fly out from Tahiti and kick off our world tour, which we are so excited about. However, we do need to recognize that we've been living in the tropics for the last 3 years, basically surviving in swimwear and trying not to get sunburned. And now we're going to Scotland at the end of the year. To be honest, shorts are just not going to cut it. So our very first job is to try and find the suitcase that we flew out with 3 years ago, because we think that it should have some warmer clothes in it.
The one thing we should never have on a boat is a solid-sided suitcase. And this one's only semi-solid, but still, it doesn't collapse. Careful, it's a little bit heavy.
Should we be taking bets on what's in here?
I'm quite scared to open it, I'll be honest. I haven't smelt it yet.
Oh no, that's going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, do it.
Hiya. Oh, my hoodie. Hello, old friend. This is actually genius. And you've ridiculed me for keeping this.
Because I knew that we were going to be living in the sunshine for 3 years, and I knew that you weren't ever going to need a super thick warm hoodie living in the middle of the sun.
This.
Look at all the times that you've worn it in the last few years.
This is an actual genuine Harris tweed hoodie, I'll have you know. This should have leather elbow patches. It's that classy.
It is. It's very cool. I like it. True Scottish heritage. Right?
Quite moldy. I think I might need airing.
Yeah, you just do that for a week and it'll be fine. Okay, we have got... This is everything we need for a Scottish winter. I've got my mittens.
We're going in summer.
I've got my hat. It's not going to be warm. This is my... Okay, these...
It's very brave of you. You just put that on your head. You didn't even smell it.
I can smell it now.
Yeah, I bet you can.
Yeah, I'm regretting this.
Yeah, you can have a shower later.
So this, I think, is my one pair of jeans that I own. And I hope they're still in one piece, basically, because otherwise I've got no idea what I'm wearing.
Were they in... Whoa.
Well, no, they were very... They were ripped when they went into this.
Oh, okay.
Not like they just disintegrated, but yeah, I don't even need to sniff it. I can smell them from here, and they definitely need a wash.
Oh, I got jeans.
You've got jeans. I think the rest of the... Okay, this is my hat as well.
How many hats did you bring?
I think I'm done at 2, but I think the rest of this is all yours.
Well, wait a minute. That hoodie, I remember you colonized that. So you know what the real question is? Do you reckon any of these clothes still fit?
Why on earth have we kept all of this for 3 years?
These are a size 36.
And so this is the question, really. 3 years of boat life. Do you put on weight or do you lose weight, or does it just mean absolutely nothing? We may as well stay on land.
And while wearing shorts, that answers the question.
Yeah, little bit too big for you there.
You want to get in here?
I could fit.
That is quite something. Can you get it?
It fits
If I go down a step, there you go.
It fits a person and a half. We could do it 3
There's
longer
still
guys.
space.
Other leg?
Yeah, go on. Come on, we can do this. Okay, I'm secure. Which around should this be? It's just gonna get very intimate very quickly. Is this good for YouTube? Okay. That's it.
What are we doing?
I mean, and there's still space.
It's the new couple's pair of trousers. I'm falling. All right, so we clearly need to wash everything before we even try and find anything else on or decide what we're taking with us. However, we're not allowed to wash this hoodie. It's Harris tweed. It's a very, very traditional Scottish fabric. It's a really cool, not many people have a hoodie that's made out of Harris tweed. It's usually quite formal wear.
Thank you, Rosie, who genuinely met Rosie, remember?
Yeah.
On Harris, or Lewis, actually.
On Lewis, yeah.
Lewis. And she's an incredible person. She made loads of these and all sorts of cool, modern garments of this old fabric. It's really cool.
It's very cool. But the washing advice, the care advice, is that you don't wash it. You just hang it up in a windy spot for it to air. So we're going to put it to the test and see if after 3 years of living in a humid suitcase, if airing it will rescue it or if it is dead forever. And what have you found?
I don't know if these are yours or mine. We might need the long johns.
Oh my goodness, I have never seen those before in my life.
Don't lie to me. Trust me, you're going to want to wear them.
Actually, have been to Scotland. They're going to think we live in the 1700s.
You know, the people who are watching from Canada think we're absolute wimps.
Well, yeah, we brought long johns to the tropics.
You never know.
Why did you pack those?
It can get chilly at night. I bet you're going to want these when we get to the west coast of Scotland.
Dare you to try them on.
I'm dare you to try them.
If these don't fit me, then we know they're yours.
I mean, not actually true, because none of the clothes that used to be mine fit me either.
So we've brought someone else's long johns.
Ugh. Used long johns.
Wow. I can tuck my hair in. That'll keep me cozy.
And there's the thumbnail.
We left the airport anchorage yesterday at the top of Tahiti and then just sailed down to this beautiful bay, just a little bit further south. It is so calm and protected in all of these hills and mountains and stuff. It's a little bit like a hurricane hill, which is perfect for what we need because we are about to go off on our world tour and we needed somewhere that we could leave Indi really, really safe on anchor. It was supposed to be like a 6-hour sail, maybe motoring the first bit while we were hidden in the shade of the island and then sailing the rest, beam breach, beautiful stuff. And it actually turned out to be, I think, our worst sail ever. 6 hours turned into 25. We were going all night. We had 45 to 50 knot winds, sustained. We had to run a third reefing line, which we don't have set up on this boat, in the middle of the night, in the dark, in 3-meter swell. And the current was the worst thing. We had about 4 knots of current against us. So our tack angles were really, really atrocious and we were just making no headway. But we had no option. We leave tomorrow and we needed to get here, so we just had to push on through. The only thing that rescued it, other than arriving here and seeing how happy we are with our choice of anchorage, was that we saw 8 humpback whales just as we arrived. So that rescued it a little bit, but oh my goodness, this tour already is making us work for it. So what's the plan?
So because we haven't got 2 engines, and because we're leaving the boat here for quite a long period of time, we want to make sure that the anchor has had a chance to bed into the mud at the bottom. So we need to make sure it's pulled right back and the chain is all straight so that they can then relax and just rest where it is. So we have a dinghy. Link is made for this. That's why we have this enormous outboard that everyone loves to talk about so much. So we figured we'll just tie up whatever lines we have because we don't have the right dock lines to hand and we're too sleepy and tired. We'll lower Link and then we'll just power off in that direction at high speed.
Yeah.
And the whole of Indi will just go boing, and hopefully at some point Link will come slingshotting back.
So this is how we dropped anchor when we first landed in the Marquesas after our Pacific crossing, and we didn't film it because A, we were just like crazy tired after 6 weeks at sea, and B, the conditions were horrible in there, and we didn't really know what we were doing and how it was going to work.
We still don't know what we're doing.
We still don't know what we're doing, and we're still kind of tired, but at least the conditions are better, so we thought we'd show you. Off you go.
I'll do all the work, don't you worry.
So Ian's tied the bridle on. He is just now reversing.
Ladder.
So we've tied the bridle on, and Ian is now just driving that way in the dinghy, and we're hoping that it gives enough pressure on Indi to dig the anchor in. Checking the bridle is tensioned. Looks good. And I'm going to check on Wayfinder to make sure that we're not moving backwards still. Beautiful job.
Okay, it's manic. Today we are getting off the boat, and that means we have, been really organized and packed everything in advance and didn't just sail like for 24 hours and getting completely covered in salt and things breaking. So we have to do quite a few things. We've been packing like crazy. There are suitcases in the saloon. There's food all over the table that we have to give away to boats around about us because we can't keep it in the fridge. Because unlike when you go on holiday, we genuinely have to shut everything down. So we're going to turn all the power off on Indi, just the dormant systems, and yeah, it's a bit manic. The one that we did forget about, however, is our watermaker. So for those of you who know, we make our own water on the boat, and we have a watermaker down in the sugar skip, which we normally run. It takes seawater and turns it into drinking water. However, if you don't run it for 3 to 5 days, I guess, it can build up a little bacteria on the membranes that it uses, and that really stinks, and then obviously the water is not really drinkable. So if we're going to be away from the boat for more than 5 days, we need to do something called pickling. And pickling is basically taking this stuff, which is a powder, mixing it with a whole pile of fresh water, and then we run it through the system, and it puts it in like putting something in a pickling jar. It protects it while we're away. So we don't have any containers big enough, so we're going to use a cool box. We're going to put a bunch of this powder stuff in the cool box and then fill it with a bunch of fresh water that we took from a hose somewhere in another country, but I don't actually remember where. And then we have to run it through the watermaker. So that's today's panic task. Only a couple hours before we got off the boat and we completely forgot.
Although our watermaker is through in the engine bay, we can actually access that from under the bed. And we figured last time that the easiest way to get all of this water, instead of carrying it around and trying to manhandle it past the engine, is to actually do it from this side. So Ian's going to go into the engine bay and turn on the watermaker from that side. I'm going to feed a hose from here through the hole and hopefully we'll join up in the middle. 1, 2.
Take a deep whiff, Bri.
8, it really stinks. 9, we should have opened up more hatches. 10, I don't know what it smells like. It's kind of salty.
So this is actually the same chemical that they ship the membranes in when they ship it out from the factory.
I don't remember them smelling like this when we opened it up though.
I feel like when we had water, it releases a vapor.
You can kind of taste the powder on your tongue, so it's clearly just flying around in the air. It's kind of salty, it's kind of a bit sulfury.
I think it's MSG, isn't it? Somebody said it was like MSG, but it's not. Yeah. What's it called?
Sodium metabisulfate reagent.
Sounds tasty.
It's food grade, so I'm hoping that means that by using my kitchen measuring spoons, we're not going to kill ourselves when we wash this up and use it to make cake.
Oh, don't ruin the cakes.
Imagine if all our cake... Oh, I breathed in a bit. Imagine if all of our cake tasted like that. I'm still coughing. This is where it goes all over the cabin floor. Yay!
Yeah, it's coming off the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my toes are wet.
I got you a wooden spoon.
The next trick is that our water maker is built to bring the water in from the sea, which is good, but not good when we're trying to do this. So instead of coming in through this clear pipe here and then running through the whole water maker system, we're trying to bring it in, we just turn this valve over and we bring it in through this orange hose here. And all I need to do now is clean it up a little bit and take that manky end off, because that's what's going to go inside our barrel. By the way, if you never remembered seeing this, we actually built all of this ourselves out of random bits and pieces that kind of glue together. It did come as a kit, but it's all off the shelf, which means if anything breaks, we can replace it from pretty much any chandelier.
All right, ready?
Okay, changing the valve over. Okay, and with that done, we just have to run what is the boost pump to bring all of that solution through the whole system, and it should fill these membranes, it'll fill all the filters. We have these pre-filters, and yeah, just encase the system in good stuff, I guess. Well, pickling juice it's called, but anyway. All right, ready to go?
Ready to go, yeah.
Okay, turning on the boost pump. I can't hear anything if you're saying anything, just so you know.
So with the boost pump running, Ian can't hear me because he's right next to that loud sound, but I can hear him talking, so he can ask me questions. And basically, I'm just going to knock on the wall when we, when the bucket empties, and then he's going to have to turn it off really quickly so that we don't get any air into the system. It's a foolproof plan.
Yeah, run this for a little bit longer, and then when we run out of solution, I guess that means we're done. Probably have to change those paper filters when we get back, though. They don't look the happiest.
And then when we get right to the very end of the water, I'm going to try and tip the whole cool box up so that all the water comes down into a corner, because I just don't want any air bubbles getting through at all, but we want as much of the solution to go through as we possibly can. It's all a bit of a balancing act, but it should work.
All right, cool. So that is it. A full 6 gallons flushed through, and our water maker is now completely full of that stuff. So hopefully it won't grow any extra bacteria or stinkiness while we're away.
There you go.
Got it.
Well, it was a rush, but we made it. We made it off the boat.
I don't know how we did that. That's insane. So
we had this great plan to film everything, to show you what we did to close out the boat, but none of that happened because it was just too stressful.
It was manic. So we were aiming to get off the boat by about 12:30, at which point a huge rain cloud came over, and Mark, who's going to look after the boat while we're away, turned up in his dinghy and was absolutely drenched. So
it's amazing. We have to shut up the boat and turn everything off, but this local guy called Mark is going to check on it every week and text us to let us know how she's doing. And it's a huge relief because we're leaving her on anchor. There's nothing we can do. We're going to be away for almost 6 weeks.
Technically going into cyclone season.
Yeah, well, I was just not really thinking about that.
Yeah.
But I'm actually so much more confident leaving her now because he's been doing it for years and looks after 20 different boats in the bay all the time when people leave them. So
yeah, he knows his stuff. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
How on earth are we going to cope with international travel when we don't have people looking out for us?
You know what's really sad about all of this? I still take them off without unbuttoning them.
So we're going to do great in the UK. Plenty of wardrobe choices.
Hey, but quality fabric that didn't disintegrate. Okay, so yeah, we probably can't wear these on the plane, I think.